time we didn't focus. Yes, now is one of our major is important to us. We are looking at how we can export the services that we have in Ghana as in education, in health, in all the things that we can do that is not tangible but can be exported. We also have 24 active and working product associations across industries that we work with. So we work with all these associations that are in the ecosystem that support the growth of export and the manufacturing sector. We have over 3,000 registered exporters and over 400 different non-traditional export products. And we are represented across the country physically in 8 regions, overlooking the rest of the 16 regions, but physically present in 8 regions. The non-traditional export earnings have been growing steadily since the government of the National Patriotic Party took the new Patriotic Party. I'm confusing it with the yes, non-traditional exports and all of that. The new Patriotic Party took over in 2017, and since that time, I can tell you that the exports of this country has grown steadily. It's never seen anything like this in the history of its being set up in 1969. This is the first time in this period that the export of this country has actually grown and grown exponentially. As I'm talking to you, we have grown exports. For 2023, we grew export to 11.75%. Its contribution to the overall national export is about 24%, and this is has been brought about by the various interventions that I'll be talking about later, but it has not been in a vacuum. A lot of work has gone into growing this percentage, and it involves other agencies as well that we collaborate with. And so some of the agencies that we collaborate with to achieve this is the Ghana Export-Import Bank, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Ghana Enterprises Agency, the Ghana Free Zones Authority, and some private and private organizations like the AGI and the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters. All of these organizations are working with GEPA hand in hand to grow the exports of the country. The number 1 NTE earner, that is the non-traditional export earner, the highest earner comes from iron, steel circles, iron rods, and sheet billets. And we are getting about 447 million, over 447 million US dollars from this alone. The growth of top NTEs earner between 2023 and 2022 is about 78%. And the total export destinations, all the places that we export to, it's about 156 countries. And the exportable products that we have in this country amount to about 625 products. And so we have so many products that we are exporting out. But presently, as part of our national export development strategy, we are prioritizing on 17 products, and we call this the 17 priority areas which we have been working on. You can see a dashboard. I think you are ahead of me. Yes. You can see a dashboard of some of the items from the 17 priority areas, which are also part of the top 10 products as we earned in 2023. You can see the cocoa paste, the cashew, cocoa butter, articles of plastics, canned tuna, cocoa powder, shea oil, natural sheets and aluminium plate sheets and coils. These are the top 10 products that earned some good amounts of money for us in 2023. I would also want to talk about some of the key programs and projects that we initiated and which is supporting what we do at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority to grow exports. For instance, our export school is where we build the capacity of trading, people interested in trading on the global market, exporters, manufacturers, even people who don't know anything about exports and trading or manufacturing come to our export school to learn how to put their best foot forward when they want to venture into exports. We have the GEPA Impact Hub. The Impact Hub is a one-stop shop of everything you need to know, be it information, technology, understanding how to export, and meeting the organizations that work with us, like the Standards Authority, the Food and Drugs Authority, the PPRSD of the Ministry of Agriculture, are all in this space to help the will-be exporter or the person who is already in exports but needs some support or wants some questions answered. If you come to the GEPA Market Hub, you would meet all of these organizations there, as well as the support we give you by way of information. We have a library, we have an IT resourced center for you to use to achieve all that you want to achieve, and that is the GEPA Impact Hub. And our website is what we call the GEPA Market Hub. So you can also go to our website to get all the information that you'd like to know. Some of the strategic interventions have been the craft sector support and expansion program. You will recall that a couple of months ago, last year, I think in April or May, we had a Dinkra International Art and Crafts Show at Konkonru in Ekriapem near Ebri, which was very, very successful. We brought people from all over the world and buyers, international buyers, to meet with our local and also international exporters from around the region to see how they can find market for our products. This was on for about 10 days and it was quite successful, and we are looking forward to the next one in 2025. Monthly, we hold craft markets around the country for crafts people to show their crafts works and also to support them in training and how to refine their works in order to meet international market demands. And then when you come to our market access and other support services that we give, you can talk about the green to compete, how to be environmentally friendly in what we do and to sustain the environment and be sustainable in everything that we do as we manufacture and do whatever we have to do to sell our wares. We work with organizations like the AFTA, the EPA, and we use other AFTA protocols as well as the trade protocols within the ECOWAS. We also have market access programs that we put our customers through to understand exports. I would want to talk about the youth in exports, which is very, very important area for us, where we try to introduce more young people to manufacturing and hopefully move on to export. And so we have our youth in export program where we attach young people to experts in the various fields, be it agribusiness or arts and craft or services, you name it. We have a program where we attach young people to these experts or organizations that are already producing and exporting, to stay with them and learn along the whole value chain for about 6 months. We provide the young people with tools, we provide them with everything that is conducive for them to want to stay even after they have finished the 6 months training. And we are being successful in this area as well. Our pilot started with about 20 young people from the universities. All 20 stayed. Some of them have worked so hard and are already exporting alongside their mentors. And the second phase, we had about 100 students who have just passed out as well, and we are looking at taking in about 1,000 for the next cohort. So this is what we are doing in support of the youth, and we are not leaving out our women as well. And so we have women-centered programs, and these programs are the She Trades. She Trades is a program that we are doing in conjunction with the International Trade Center in Geneva and UK aid as well in United Kingdom. And this is a program that is supporting the women to upskill whatever they are doing to hit the international market, connecting them to the markets and making it possible for them to meet their counterparts and form partnerships as well around the world. We also have what we call Women Icons, where we go around each region looking for one top woman who is exporting or who is doing well that we can support to export. And with that, we hold exhibitions where we award this woman in front of her peers and in front of the whole of the country, so that people are encouraged to support these women, and they are also motivated to even do better. At the end of last year, we brought all the women icons together and took them to meet their counterparts in Doha, Qatar, where they have formed alliances and are working with the Qataris to see how they can have their shops, their products in their shops outside of Ghana in Qatar. And as I talk to you, we are working so hard to get the products of these women in 123 shops, not in Qatar alone, but in Dubai and in the United Arab Emirates area, and all of the Arab world. So this is what we are doing with our women. We are supporting our women. And then we have our export trade houses. For us, it was very important, as we see the China malls in our country. Every little corner you see a huge China mall where China goods are being brought into us. We thought that why not, we should also try and situate our shops or our fulfillment centers on other continents to promote made in Ghana products. So the first place that we did this was in Kenya, in Nairobi, where we have the first fulfillment center. More than a year ago, we sited the Ghana Trade House in Kenya, and we have been steadily shipping Ghanaian products for onward distribution in the East African market in Kenya. And as I talk to you, my team is over there in Kenya in preparation to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the Ghana Trade House in Kenya, and not only in Kenya, but in Tanzania, in Uganda, in all the neighboring countries, where we are gradually pushing made in Ghana products, sending our exporters there to form partnerships and work along the value chain to support not only Ghana, but the whole of Africa. We also have the supply-based expansion projects that is supporting coconut, cashew, the expansion of coconut, you would notice that a lot of people are going into coconut now, and it is just because GEPA is supporting with the revitalization of the coconut industry by supporting with the seedlings, and we have actually gone out to give so many seedlings to farmers in the coconut revitalization project. We are expanding all over the country with our coconuts. We are growing more of it, and we are adding value to it. We are also involved in cashew, and we are also involved in vegetables. We have supported vegetable growers with disease-free. You will think that this doesn't belong to GEPA, but when we go on the global market to go and sell our products, and we come back with big orders, and we are unable to put whatever we want together to ship, it renders our work rather uninteresting. Then there is no point in going out into the world to say that we have this, we have that, and yet we cannot supply. So we came back and to do our homework, and we thought if we went out there to talk about our vegetables and all of that, and we can't get enough of it, what do? We need to expand. We need to get the best seedlings. So we supported our farmers with the best seedlings. That's what we do, to support them with best seedlings so that they can produce more for us to also get more, eat some in the country, and then sell the rest on the international market. When you talk about the youth in export that earlier spoken about, we did not just, we concentrated on all the regions, and so you see that we brought people from Central, Eastern, Volta, and they were part of the 20 mentees. The first 20 mentees were all graduates who were from all of these regions that I've mentioned. So we make sure that we are not concentrating ourselves in some few regions. We are going to all the regions. So the 1,000 that we will be working with will be coming from all the regions with all kinds of backgrounds. I talked about women, and I left out the Women in Chocolates project, which is another project that we are working on with women. And so we are providing them with the requisite support and resources to grow their chocolate brands, exposing them to the international world. We've taken them to Salon de Chocolat in Paris. We've taken them to South Africa as well. And the next one is very soon in October. By the end of October, they are going to Paris. And then in November, they are going to the Winex of South Africa, where we bundle our chocolates, mostly chocolates made by women groupings, with the wine of South Africa. And so these are some of the programs that we are helping with, as well as supporting with our trade houses. I've talked about the coconut revitalization program. So ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's non-traditional growth has been on a positive trajectory. We are moving. Even in COVID, when other countries were going down, we dipped by just a little bit, 4%, because previously we had hit a growth of 10%, but during COVID we came down to 6%. And as I talk to you, we have moved export to 11.75%. Very unprecedented. It doesn't even happen in other places. It's happening in Ghana. And Ghana, I'm telling you, the export industry in Ghana is the envy of all the West African countries, and my counterparts are sending in people to see how Ghana did it. That makes us proud. We are not complacent. In fact, we want to even grow bigger than this, and so we are putting in more interventions, which we will hopefully come to talk to you about in the next couple of months to see where we are going with export. But I can assure you that in spite of whatever is happening in the world, Ghana's export is growing. and we have from the negative come to $4 billion every year. Thank you very much.
Well, I told you she's indefatigable. And thank you, Asafohen. And I think that we thank you, our media men, for coming. Those of you listening to us from your homes, I told you, we are here to listen to GEPA, to understand what opportunities are, what has been the challenge, and she's delivered eloquently. And you see the opportunities. In 2025, she didn't talk about it, but it's part of the slide. They are going to distribute 500,000 more seedlings, coconut farmers, young people. If I tell you the rate at which coconut is growing, the opportunities available, I can't wait. I'll begin to advocate for my constituency so that we'll get the opportunity as well. But in all this, I've seen the trajectory of export from having now over 3,000 exporters registered. What you are waiting for, if you have a product you think is exportable product, reach out to them. You got all the information. They will support you for certification. We talk about AFTA here. There's a huge collaboration between them and AFTA to be able to meet some standardization for export. You don't just export. You don't just talk about AFTA when you don't know the standardizations and the protocols you have to meet to be able to export to one country. In fact, I went to Kenya and I saw, the first thing I saw from the airport to my hotel, I saw the Ghana trade house, and I was excited about it. I was excited. You know, when the MPs were caught up in Kenya, I was there, so I saw it from the airport to my hotel. I saw it. So what you're talking about is quite refreshing. I hope that we get to other jurisdictions, and the opportunities are quite abound for all of us. And I think that the things she talks about, the export school, that we need to be educated in the things we do. Also talk about the GEPA Impact Hub, talked about the craft sector support and expansion program. Those in crafts, you need the support. And those who are going through these programs can attest to the enormous opportunities that are given. Whatever you are doing in your small corner, please get closer to GEPA. And I believe that you also get the opportunity. The refreshing news about all this is that all the small businesses and exporters largely are women, and they support women also to grow their business, to support our export drive as a country. Ladies and gentlemen, I won't take the whole thing from the media men who are here to make sure the country is well informed. We'll give you opportunity to ask all the thought-provoking questions to our CEO and her team. We say that the difficult ones goes to the technical people, the directors, so that the soft one goes to the boss. But she's capable to handle all. So you can now fire your questions and she will take them. Thank you. Yes, please, you mention your name in Media House.
Yeah, thank you. Arthur Mensah from Ghana News Agency. Yes. I want to find out how GEPA is taking advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area to also get money to support the youths to also export. What effort have you made so far to get to leverage on the AFTA so that we expand our export base? Then, as you rightly said, you do monthly craft exhibition. I want to find out whether it is done only in Accra or you have expanded to other regions so that those people in other regions who are interested in craft also take advantage of that. Whether it is done only in Accra or other regions. Thank you.
Yes. Next one.
Yes, good afternoon, madam. My name is Nanapoku. I write for the Daily Searchlight newspaper. We know that when people come from outside to invest in Ghana, they are given some incentives by way of tax rebate and things like that. Due to extend the same thing to Ghanaian indigenous businessmen who are also exporting outside, and what can you do, as it were, to incentivize Ghanaians who want to back on industrialization and maybe export outside the country? to help our foreign exchange? Thank you.
My name is Ebenezer Kofi Amponsa with the Daily Guide. I want to find out, in your submission, I didn't hear any form of collaboration between your outfit and the Ministry of Agric. You did mention of free seedlings that are being supplied to vegetable growers. I want to find out what form of collaboration you have with the Ministry of Agric to enhance the Planting for Food and Jobs program. Thank you.
Is that off first? Yes. I want to take the questions and then you take them.
Yeah. Thank you. My name is John Awuni. I represent Kesben TV. My first question is on technology. How is GEPA leveraging technology and innovation to facilitate trade and export growth? And then the second question is on the horticultural exports. What support systems will be put in place to help horticultural exporters access to international markets? Thank you.
Right. Okay, thank you very much, Madam CEO. I think that will be all for the first round of questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions. The first one is how we are taking advantage of the AFCFTA. We are taking advantage of the AFCFTA, working with Ghana's coordinating office, and that is another reason why we even set up the Ghana Trade House. Because if we are going to be trading amongst ourselves in Africa, we want to be present in all the African countries. And that is how we are taking advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. We are positioning our exporters to understand this. We've been to all the 16 regions. We've had workshops. We've broken it down to them. We've demystified it for them to understand what the AFCFTA means to Africa and how Ghana can ride on the back of this to also grow its exports. So in all, we have been working very, very. Everything we are doing now is geared towards not the whole world alone and scattered like before, but we are looking at how we can even trade amongst ourselves better in Africa. As trading amongst ourselves is just about 12%. It is woefully inadequate. It is not good. Africa is a huge continent and we have everything here, and we can even trade amongst ourselves and grow our exports. So we take it very seriously. We are working so hard and we are citing our trade houses on the continent, and the next one will be announced very soon. We are working very hard to put the next one in Sierra Leone, and everything is on course to do that. So gradually we are working so that the AFCFTA won't be an illusion. Thank you. The second is the craft sector. Is the craft sector exhibitions only in Accra? No. That's why we even didn't do the biggest one in Accra, but we did it in Kunkunu. If you look at the crafts markets around the country, we have started recreating them, renovating them, motivating them to even do better. If take for instance the Ebri craft market, we did a whole lot there, and we have done a few exhibitions there. During Christmas, we even do exhibitions there in Ebri and bus people to go there and go and shop. We are looking at the central region. We are working with Cedicom to revitalize the craft center in the central region. We are working to do same in the Volta region. So it is not just Accra. Exhibitions take place in all the centers that we know of around the country. We've done several exhibitions in the central region recently, and we're planning on doing same in other regions as well. What is our collaboration with Ministry of Food and Agric? Yes, we have a lot of collaborations. I told you that we even have the PPRS, the Plant and Protection Support Services, certain departments, sitting in GEPA. We have a desk there. It shows you how collaborative GEPA cannot do its work without collaborations. We believe strongly in collaborating with all the agencies that can support the export ecosystem. So we collaborate a lot with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. We collaborated with them on the planting for food and agriculture. We use their extension services officers to support the farmers that we give interventions to in all the regions where we work. So we work very closely with that ministry. We cannot do without the ministry. We are just a support to them. How are we leveraging technology and innovation to facilitate export? We are doing it in various ways, starting from our registering to become an exporter. We are using technology. Gone were the days when you had to walk into our offices to go and register. Now you can do that online. We are working with private sector to set up e-commerce areas so that you don't always have to carry your goods across the waters to go and look for the market. People can find out what you need to what they need on the e-commerce sites, and then they can be fulfilled. Our market hub, that is our website, was adjudged one of the best in the world when it came to trade promotion organizations and how they are leveraging on technology and innovation. And our market hub, if you go there, you'll see that you can use our website to transact business anywhere in this world. It was touted as the best in the world. It shows you how concerned we are with innovation and technology, and that is why you should also come to our impact hub to see what is going on there, how we are using technology and innovation to support exports of Ghana. Thank you. I think that was the last one.
Incentivizing local exporters.
Yes, incentivizing local exporters. I mean, when he asked the question, I was going to say the first thing you said about investment. People are giving some support when it comes to investment. Exporting outside the country, you don't need to pay anything at the border post and all of that, except for the duties and all. But do we pay for duties? No, we don't even pay for that. It's virtually free to export. So how do we incentivize our people? And that is why we take them out to fairs. In fact, all the fairs that they attend, government buys the space. This particular government has done so well in that, because to even buy a small space here, on like this stage, will cost you about 4,000 euro to exhibit your products or services. But the government of Ghana pays for this. Every fair that they have attended through the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, government has paid for the space for each exporter, which can be over 4,000 euros or dollars for a small space for them to exhibit. Government pays. Government pays for the freighting of the goods that you are sending to these countries. Government pays. The MPP government does that, and we have done it very well for the past 8 years. Paying for exporters, paying for the space, paying for the freight. If you do not want to go, we have experts in GEPA who can take care of your goods and look for the markets and link these goods to the market and bring you back the reports. So you don't even have to be there if you don't have what it takes to be there. But if you want to go, then you just buy your ticket and your accommodation. That you can do. But otherwise, everything that you need to connect your products and services to the market is done free of charge by the government. And I want to say our Impact Hub, which houses all the agencies that I talked about and all the services that you receive at our Impact Hub, is as well free. Nobody pays for it, because we recognize that small businesses, most of the small businesses can't rent their offices. They don't have what it takes to create their own offices. So this is also a conducive place where our exporters will be exporters. Even people who have ideas and are trying to develop a product come there to use our services free of charge, to have their meetings there, to develop their products, talk to us, talk to Food and Drugs Authority, talk to Ghana Standards Authority, and PPRSD. Everybody who is there will support you to grow your business if you use our facility and you are not charged for it. We just want to know that you are using it on this particular day so that we can make room for you to use it. So these are some of the incentives that, apart from connecting them to the market, holding training programs for them, all of these things come with a lot of money, and government either is subsidizing or is doing it for free for our exporters. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Asafuhin. I believe that we are done with all the questions. Oh, you have a follow-up question?
Yes.
You also have a follow-up?
When the chief executive mentioned vegetables, that they are supplying best vegetable seedlings to farmers. And this question came to mind, and I just Googled a story which is Ghana loses 36 million in 2 years due to ban on export of vegetables from Ghana. This is a story in 2017. So I want to find out how we are doing in terms of export of vegetables outside, how Ghana is doing last year, how do we perform, and what effort are you also putting in place so that we continue exporting the one that suit international markets, so that we don't have, I know some time ago our vegetables were banned from the European market. So what are you doing to maintain the standard? Thank you.
Yes, another last question.
Yes, so mine has to do with the agricultural colleges. We hardly hear of these agricultural colleges in recent times. I'm asking
Please, you go. Please go ahead.
So I'm asking, over the years, since the BB assumed office, what form of collaboration do you have with these agricultural colleges to, as it were, ensure that as soon as they complete school, they might find a place in some of these interventions that you made, given the women in chocolate production and all these interventions that you've taken for some time now? Thank you.
Well, I think that should be the last questions for her. Thank you.
I'll answer the last one first about our collaborations with agri colleges. You realize that Ghana Export Promotion Authority is an export-oriented organization. We have bent backwards to intervene in some areas that also sits even with other ministries or other departments. Bending backwards now to go into the colleges will be too much for the Ghana Export Promotion. We will be deviating from our mandate, as sometimes we stray. And we stray when we think it is necessary for us to stray. And that's why we have the youth in export. We have the youth in export. It is advertised. If they are done with the agri colleges, they can apply to the youth in export. And then we will attach them to the already established organizations that are into export for them to work with. We work very closely with the Ministry of Agriculture. This shouldn't be an issue. They should just apply to our youth in export. The more people we get, the more young people we get who are interested, the better it will be for the country. Thank you. The vegetables. That is why I talked about PPRSD, the Ministry of Agric. We work with PPRSD. Also, you realize that GEPA doesn't need to go so much into these areas, but that is what we do, because as I said from the beginning, we cannot go and sell what we don't have. So we collaborate with the Ministry of Agric. In 2017, when there was a ban on some of our vegetables, was because of the kind of fertilizer we were using. Some of the residue is still left on these vegetables when we export them. When they get to their destination, they are sent back. If we are not working in collaboration with the Ministry of Agric, we cannot resolve these issues. And this is what we've been doing for some time now, to work with the Ministry of Agric, with their extension officers. We will give the support. They will advise us on what the best seedlings are. We give the support to purchase those seedlings for the exporters. We don't know anything about farming. The Ministry of Agric then sets in and helps with the cultivation of these vegetables. We just support because we need a product to export. And so that is how we work with the Ministry of Agric, and that is how gradually you are not seeing so much of our vegetables being banned, because we provide the resources to get the best vegetables for the vegetable farmers to grow. Thank you. Are you okay? My research team will give you that number. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe that GEPA is the last resort on the value chain. You go through everything, and at the point of export, they come in. They help you to export. The feedback, they are the first point of contact. That is why they receive the information, they relay it to relevant institutions and authorities to be able to meet the standards. Because for export, every country has its own set of standards, even packaging. And these are informations necessary for us to export. You have the desire to export. Even to our nearby Togo, if it has to be formalized, there are standards one has to meet in exporting to Togo. Different standards you have to meet in exporting to Canada, or different standards you have to meet in exporting to Southeast Asia. So they have all this information. That is why they are saying that if you have the desire, if you have any of these priority products you want to export, get in touch with GEPA, and you'll be provided with information at no cost to you. And I believe that this is where young people, there are many examples of young people going into export vegetables. Once they've adhered strictly to the protocols, they are making more money than even seeking formal employment. And that is the essence. First trainees were 20, they moved to 100, now they are going to 1,000. If you are listening to us, seek information, get enrolled. It doesn't matter your backgrounds. You could be a PhD holder, it could be a master's degree holder, it could be an SHS graduate. Once you are trained, after 6 months, you are capable enough to be able to pick a product, go through the protocols, and be able to export. They also do market access. They'll give you information about every product and which market is most sought after. That is why GEPA is here. So ladies and gentlemen, our friends from the media, we thank you sincerely for being there for us, educating the public and informing all of us, as it were. We thank you also, the staff of the Ministry of Information, for coming, and we also thank Deputy Director, Agribusinesses, Mr. Fred Omani Asante. We also thank sincerely Deputy Director, Service, Manufacturers and Petrochemicals, Mr. Zakaria Banda, Director of Research, Mr. Martin Akoti. The Deputy is here, Mr. Albert Kasim Diwura is here. My condolences to my own senior Sami Dentu, who is not able to join us here today. And of course, our CEO, Asafohin Dr. Efua Asabia Asari the first. We thank you for coming. We hope to see more of GEPA trying to educate all of us on the protocols. We thank you, GBC. We thank you, the technical crew. We thank everybody. May God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you very much. Please, you take photographs, Chairman. You just finished. Please come. The driver.
Just put this on.
GTV, the authentic and trusted voice of Ghana. Up next, news at 2 p.m.